So this is Clay, and Clay Anatomy is his name. And he is demonstrating the location of the diaphragm in relationship to the psoas muscle. And it's funny, a lot of people don't really know where the psoas is. They hear us use it all the time. But as you can see, it attaches way up to the thoracic T12, all the way down to L5, and crosses over and inserts into the lesser trochanter. The diaphragm is what separates the chest cavity from the abdominal cavity. And when can you see how the ligaments of the diaphragm actually run side by side of the psoas muscle? It's almost like the head of a cobra. The diaphragm is the head of the cobra, and then the psoas becomes the tail of the cobra.
I see, yeah.
So there's been some debate in my mind, as well as other yogis. Does the diaphragm relax on inhale, or does it contract on inhale? I was taught that the diaphragm relaxes on inhale. And I went to a training with some medical professionals, and they were talking the opposite. And I was like, I couldn't wrap my brain around it. And I had a medical student come up to me and say, he struggled with that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I did a human dissection class and actually got to see this diaphragm muscle, and it does in fact contract on inhale. It's the external breathing muscles that relax so that the diaphragm can contract. And then on exhale, the diaphragm relaxes, gets longer, moves back up into the chest cavity, and the external breathing muscles contract to help with the exhale. So I found that to be very enlightening. Now, the psoas muscle and the diaphragm kind of work in opposition to each other. And a lot of people think when the psoas muscle is tight, it creates lordosis in the low back, an extra curve. But in fact, it straightens the spine. And I have this little, what are these called, Chinese finger, whatever?
Yeah.
So put your fingers in each one of those and pull. So imagine that this muscle, this is your diaphragm, and this is your psoas muscle pulling on the spine. It actually straightens the spine. It takes the curve out of the spine. So when your psoas is overly tight, and then you have a tight diaphragm because you're not able to relax it completely to allow for exhale, or your holding patterns, puts a lot of strain on the spine to straighten it, and we lose that secondary lordotic curve in the low back. So that's one of the reasons why stretching the hip flexors, especially the psoas muscle, is so important, and why breath work is key to maintaining a healthy back and spine. And the breath work tends to be overlooked. So we're going to be doing some practices, some asana practices to lengthen the psoas muscle and create some relief in the back, and also using the breath.